p.m. You might be surprised just who pops up. Only on GameShout Radio.
GameShout Radio is property of GameShout, a company of Red Planet LLC. All rights reserved. Executive producer, Andy Hodges. For live broadcast booking information, syndication, or advertising, email info@gameshout.com. All comments expressed on the show are not necessarily those of GameShout, Red Planet LLC, its advertisers, guests, or syndication affiliates. All music is licensed by ASCAP and BMI. Recordings of this broadcast prohibited without prior written consent. GameShout Radio. The show is brought to you by ATI. Get your new X800 Radeon card today. And BFG Servers. For game server rentals, visit BFGServers.com. BFG Servers, where size does matter. GameShout Radio, the #1 talk game station in the world.
And welcome back to GameShout. This is GameShout Radio. To know more about us, just go to our website at GameShout.com. And from there, you can also join us in live chat. We do the live chats Tuesday through Thursday night, starting at 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern. And we also, Pat always jokes around when I do that. Eastern. 5 o'clock p.m. Pacific. See, I can do Pacific. Maybe we should do Pacific instead of Eastern.
How about Mountain?
Mountain? Canadian time?
Mountain?
They're on their own little
What
time
time's that? That's 6 something? 7?
That would be... Yeah, something
7.
like that.
7-ish. 7:05.
It's
Yeah,
6
7
o'clock
something.
Mountain time right now.
Their daylight savings 5 minutes.
Now, oh, okay, so their minutes are off.
Yeah, they're just weird.
Well, I know there's one
Okay.
province in Canada that's got like one of these half-hour time zones, but they're the Newfoundlands, the Newfies. We don't really know about them.
Now, what area of the country does not recognize the time change from savings and stuff?
I think Nevada doesn't pay attention to that. I think they swap time zones when everyone else is doing daylight savings.
No, actually, I believe it's Arizona is the one. Arizona and New Mexico, I believe, are the full state, and then there's parts of Indiana I know that don't follow
French?
daylight savings. I don't know.
What? Everybody goes back. We're going to go forward. So it's like a 3-hour change.
Yeah, they will not recognize the time change. You know, it's like those people in Alabama that will never ever recognize the state of Missouri.
Or the fact that we won the Civil War.
Yeah, I mean, one of these days, those boys are going to get that iron rusted stove from the front yard, and because the South is going to rise again if the creek don't rise. Okay, so save your Confederate money, because boy, it's coming back.
I've been hoarding mine just in case, you know. Ever since playing Shattered Union, I've been collecting Russian money, European money, you know, all that kind of stuff. And I started making my own money, just hoping that somebody would use it.
The South is coming back if the creek don't rise.
The South's too lazy to come back. What do these here battle plans say? I can't read them.
Go north.
Which way's north?
Hey, don't blame Canada.
They end up like attacking Mexico.
That's what happened.
These northerners
they went the wrong way.
Different than I last remember. They're all speaking a different language here in the north. It's a lot warmer.
Damn Yankees.
Damn Yanks. Them and their educatedness. Get all sophisticated like and stuff, and they look different, they talk different. A lot worse off than us. Screw this, I'm going back south.
They make good food, though.
Oh yeah, chimichangas.
Not only that, but most of the presidents are from the South.
Yes. They're like, fine, you can win the war, but we're gonna run this country and screw it over.
Well, hey, my name is Andy Hodges. We also have Jadri. We've got TrickNeal, SexyJosh, Soulrift, Tina, Vicious, and Capt.Maverick is off tonight. He's out deer hunting. Talking about the South. Yeah, He's out there
He's
deer
out sitting in a
hunting,
tree, listening
getting
to his
rained on,
MP3 player, watching
his iPod.
Beer in hand.
It's just that's all.
Listening to Ted
Excuse about
Nugent.
Drink. This magic moment.
No, here's Mav. He's up there in that tree, and he's like,
That's his deer
He's
call.
calling the deer.
Oh yeah, I was trying getting a deer, but I ended up with a bear and some grizzlies.
Tim Allen.
Tim Allen came out of the woods. I ended up shooting Tim Allen, two bears, and Bigfoot.
yeah, and you know, one thing about the office here at GameShout Studios, you know, we all work here, of course, and we have to listen to each other's stories, especially if we go on vacation. Oh man, when someone goes on vacation and comes back, a person will ramble on for about a half hour about their vacation, and of course I don't do that.
Like
You
the tribute band to the Beatles in Disneyland. I swear to God, the guy looked like John Lennon.
Well, that's
Andy?
different,
Right?
You know, that's different. I was just making conversation that day because we had nothing to talk about. So I was, but the reason I bring this up, the reason I bring this up, talking about your vacation is one thing, okay? But when Mav gets back from hunting, oh my gosh, do we have to hear the stories? You know, he'll take a situation of shooting a deer and turn it all the way around to like, oh yeah,
Vietnam
I was out
It
there.
sounds like a flashback when he's doing it.
There I was, entrenched in 3 inches of mud, and when all of a sudden that sumbitch came out of nowhere, I didn't know what to do, stared me dead in the eyes with rabid looking and a crazed snarl to him. His antlers were 30 feet tall, pointier than the damnedest thing I've ever seen. When he came a-charging at me, I did the only thing I could. I fired 30 shots into his eyes, but he still kept coming, flames shooting out of his nostrils, smoke coming off his tongue. It is like the devil reincarnated himself into a deer, and he kept on coming, and kept on coming. And I busted out my sidearm and started shooting, and it still wouldn't take him down. So the second he came down upon me, we went into hand-to-hand combat. I bit, I scratched, I pulled out my Boeing knife, and I started slicing and dicing, but that wouldn't do it. No, that sumbitch would not go down. So finally, I just did the only thing I could. I did it. I grabbed him by the neck and cracked it sideways, and he still wasn't dead. No grenade, no bazooka, no AK-47. I'm just... So then finally, by the good grace of God, a squirrel came out of nowhere and tripped that deer down on the ground, snapped its neck right in half. Poor thing I ever seen. So I skinned it right there and ate it alive.
Oh my goodness.
Poor Mav. I'm never going on vacation.
Oh, he says that
This
crap
is
about
what
me all the
happens.
time. I don't care.
That's what
But it's
happens
simple, I
when
think-
someone goes on vacation and we talk about other people. Like when I went on vacation, oh, that's all you guys talked about.
Yeah, he tends to exaggerate my trips just to Walmart like that, you know. There I was, 3 inches of tile, and all of a sudden that sumbitch came out of nowhere. Biggest Walmart employee I ever seen. He came... Good thing I was in the rifle department.
Now, why is it that every time I go to Walmart, you're in there?
I'm not always in there. I just happen to need things from Walmart. That, you know, it's the
You go there,
one-stop
you shop, you eat, you make it a whole day. You know, eat their
I've
chili
gotten my haircut
dogs,
there.
or what is that
I
thing
get,
that you get?
Yeah, it's a chili dog. That and the mini
hamburgers
cheeseburgers.
or mini cheeseburgers.
You get 2 mini
See, I always
cheeseburgers
see
and
him
a
at
drink for
Sam's Club.
$2. Oh, Sam's.
You go
that's where
there
like,
too?
bulk anything.
Yeah, he goes to he'll go there when they're serving lunch, like, you know, samples, and he'll eat his lunch there.
Yeah. Well, I call
Yeah,
it lunch.
yeah.
Well, dude, you can get like bulk anything there. Like, do you need 300 toaster strudels? Well, I do. That'll keep me good for the next 4 months. Yeah.
Your ramen noodles.
Dude. Nectar of the gods. Ramen noodle.
I call them Raymond, and I survive on those things.
Raymond? They're not spelled R-A-Y-M-O-N-D. It's ramen, R-A-M-E-N.
R-A-M-E-N. Raymond.
No, it's ramen.
Raymond.
It's Hispanic.
Ramen.
You say
ramen.
potato, I say tomato.
You say hooker, I say liability.
Well, hey, the shows we got tonight, wacky news from around the world, and it's taped by Capt.Maverick. That's right. He actually recorded his wacky news from around the world. And then we've got the live sci-fi show tonight, science news and commentary, and that's live, of course. Unless you're listening to the podcast.
In which everything's taped. Sucks to be you.
Yeah. It's like people listen to the podcast, they download the podcast, and then they come onto our IRC network, and they're like, is this live?
Well, you know, if you're listening to the podcast and we aren't live, obviously, and you still want to send us messages, like, you know, you disagree with something, we have an AIM screen name, GameShout. Just, you know, message GameShout, add them to your buddies list. We're there all the time. Also, rock@gameshout.com is our MSN screen name. You can add that, and we'll add you on. Leave us messages whenever the hell you want. We're always just, you know, in and out of the studio here, so.
I was talking to somebody at like 3 in the morning last night.
Creepy, but okay.
You're just like, shouldn't you be in bed, young man? Come on now, I'm trying to go to sleep.
Well, sci-fi's tonight. PC Playground game reviews. The PC game reviews tonight. We got a review of UFO Aftershock. We also have Serious Sam 2, the demo of the week, and we're doing a preview of World of Warcraft: The Burning Crusade Part 2. That's the new one, right?
That is the expansion pack for World of Warcraft. We're doing our second part to that preview. It's going to be some tight stuff, yo. Tight.
So if you're a World of Warcraft fan, you definitely want to tune in for that tonight. That's during the PC Playground. That gets underway at 9 o'clock, at about 49 minutes from now. And yeah, we also got Technology Today, sponsored by Newegg. And that comes on right after that. So great show tonight. And I meant to tell you something, but I totally forgot.
Oh, come on, Andy.
It's happening with age, you know?
Yeah.
Never thought it would happen. Yeah, it's funny because I don't ever, like, try to wish that on someone, because my grandfather used to tease his father about his hearing, and which was my great-grandfather. And he would make jokes about it. Well, now my grandfather is his age, and he's lost his hearing as well. So I've seen, like, 2 generations of people losing their hearing, you know?
So do you think if you don't make fun of them that you won't lose yours?
Oh, I won't lose mine.
Yeah.
Biggest damn thing I've ever seen coming straight at me. Flames are taking out his... Anyways.
Wacky Wednesdays this week. I just want to mention also, next Thursday, which would be Thanksgiving holiday, we will not be doing a show that night for Thanksgiving. But we will be here Tuesday and Wednesday, live, on the air. Podcasts for those shows will be up. And Monday, Control Alt Rock. And if you're in South Florida, you can catch us on 95.9 in the Orlando to Palm Beach area on both Monday and Tuesday. We're going to be talking about the Xbox 360 launch. Capt.Maverick and I, live on the FM dial, 95.9. You can reach them anywhere from Orlando to the Palm Beaches. And right now, we're going to take a quick break. We will be right back with the wacky news of...
Millions of people love Newegg.com. Go on that website and check it out. You'll see what I'm talking about. There's a whole testimonial page. People are using the L word when it comes to Newegg.com. They say love. I love Newegg.com. How is Newegg.com earning this kind of devotion? Well, they sell computers, components, and electronics. That's true. But it's the great price. It's the huge selection. It's the fair shipping. And it's because the customer service is so great. They actually care about your satisfaction. They have video cards, routers, wireless networking equipment, DVD players, hard drives, software, digital cameras, and unbelievable fair shipping. So, I can't sing the praises of Newegg.com enough, and neither can anyone else. So So whether you need a motherboard or the mother of all TVs, go to Newegg.com. You'll see what their millions of happy customers are raving about. Once you know, Newegg.com.
Thank you, Andy. And thanks, everybody. Glad to have you with us tonight. This is Capt.Maverick, your host for the wacky news from around the world. And, man, we got a lot of wacky news going on in the world. Let's start out with our new mayor of Hillsdale, Michigan. An 18-year-old young man has now become the mayor of Hillsdale by 2 votes. Now, the race, which pitted a 51-year-old against the 18-year-old, had to be the closest race, or one of the closest races in history. Michael Sessions, the young man who was elected, said he would take the job very seriously. But it should be noted that he will only spend half a day in town hall, because he's still in high school. On a more interesting note, the whole campaign was a write-in. 1 month before the voting was to begin, he spent a grand total of $700 and won. That cool? 18-year-old mayor of Hillsdale, Michigan. That is so totally cool. Well, it kind of brings me down to a bummer note with this 21-year-old Tyler Polson. He's a 21-year-old man. He was riding with his brothers in South Jordan, Utah. He became offended by one of them using profanity. Now, understand, Tyler, he just returned from an LDS, or Latter-day Saint Mormon mission, and he told the guys, I mean, he threatened that he would step out of the car if the profanity continued. And one of the guys said to Paulson, fine, go ahead. He didn't think he would. Truck was doing 35 miles an hour. Tyler opened the door and stepped out. He was pronounced dead at the scene. Look, 35 miles an hour, you hit your head, it is still enough to kill you. Don't do stupid stuff. Like this lady. I'm telling you. Andy, you're going to love this one. Lorinda Hawkins. She was breastfeeding her 4-month-old baby back in February, and she passed out. Allegedly, she suffocated the child accidentally. She was charged on Friday with 1 count of child neglect causing a child's death. If convicted, she could be sentenced to 29 years in prison, fined $100,000, because she's a repeat offender who's been in trouble with the law before. Yep, she was on probation for neglect of the same child and was ordered not to drink alcohol. Yeah, and Hawkins downed 6 double shots of an alcoholic beverage at the bowling alley, and her blood alcohol content ranged from 0.15 to 0.27%. She has 3 other kids, and she's not supposed to have unsupervised contact with all 4 kids at once. I mean, this lady is absolutely wacky. She's breastfeeding her baby and falls asleep. Yeah, suffocates the kid. That's I just don't get it. You know, I mean, I just don't get some people. Hey, let's take a break. Let's go ahead and check out, well, one of my favorite commercial parodies.
Let's face it, you've been working hard, and you've got a hunger that's kicking your ass.
I sure could go for some nuts right now.
I, too, could go for the effervescent taste of nuts in my mouth.
Sometimes those cravings are just too loud to contain.
Man, it's been a while since I had nut all up in my mouth.
By the way, you have some nut on your chin.
Somebody put a nut in my mouth. Well, when you crave nuts, there's only one product that you can put in your mouth to satisfy that craving.
Give me a Big Rod!
That's right, Big Rod Nut Bar. You've never had the taste of nuts in your mouth till you put your mouth on a Big Rod Nut Bar.
God, I love his nuts.
That's right. Big Rod's Nut Bar is known all over the country as the nuttiest rod in the land.
Oh my goodness, it's not the best I have ever tasted.
Take it from these bona fide nut lovers.
I can't wait. Once I get Rod's nuts in me gob, I'm just all over it.
I love Rod's nuts.
Somebody put a nut in my mouth.
Say, give me one.
They make me feel so silky.
Or even us mullet heads love the taste of a Big Rod Nut Bar. Even the rich and famous are not immune to the big nutty taste of Big Rod Nut Bar.
Hey, yo, I really love Big Rod's nuts in my mouth.
The last time I had a Big Rod my mouth, got KY in my ass, and they took me to jail. So go on down to your local convenience store and wrap your lips around a Big Rod Nut Bar. You too will be singing
These nuts in your mouth. These nuts in your mouth.
Big Rod Nut Bar. These nuts in your mouth.
Well, according to... I know. Sorry, guys, but, according to the Pittsburgh Tribune, Larry E. Kelly Jr. appeared before a Pittsburgh judge dressed only in dark blue boxers and white socks. Yes, last Monday, he was going to tell the judge he didn't want to take part in the trial. Kelly was convicted in record time, 5 minutes, of theft of $38,465 in leased property. Judge Steve, I'm going to butcher your name, Judge. Please, Your Honor, don't hurt me. Leskinen, I hope that's right. Judge Leskinen told the court this may be at least a county record for the speed of the trial. Now, Kelly was not the only person to protest court on Monday. Check this out. Another man, he smears feces all over himself so as not to be touched by county prison officials. Ooh, who's going to handcuff this guy? Yeah, right. Somebody break out the alcohol, would you? Somebody give this guy a bath in alcohol. Ooh, ouch, yeah. Close shave and a bath in alcohol. That's what we really need. This is just for you, Tina. A touching dog story. Out of Alhambra, California. A dog breeder was mystified when his golden retriever dog gave birth to a green puppy. Yeah, green puppy. The puppy was one of 4 regular colored puppies born to the retriever 5 days ago. Some skeptics said the dog was dyed, but the owner insists that the dog was born with green color. Vets do say it is possible for a puppy's fur to be green in color due to, the placenta rubbing off at birth. I don't know. Puppy looks pretty green to me. They've named him... Okay. All right, check this out. They named him Wasabi. So when they call him, they can call him Wasabi. All right. Oh, jeez. Wasabi. Oh, jeez. Little green-colored puppy. Well, figure it this way, though. Wasabi, it wouldn't be too far off if Koreans actually ate wasabi. But, hey, let's not go there. That's another story altogether. Well, Linda Adams from Barnstaple, North Devon. She took out a full-page ad in the newspaper. The ad says, "Who wants to date my daughter?" In a desperate attempt to find her daughter a partner to celebrate Christmas with after spending some time, the past few single, Linda's daughter, Sabina, she says she'll go along with her mother's plans, saying all she was looking for was someone with a good personality who's also good with children, adding that, good looks are not the main requirement. You can tell she's a looker. Well, Richard Best, the editor over at the newspaper, he says that it seemed, like a genuine request. A nice, lighthearted, fun story which might have a happy outcome. I'd like to find out if it does. I wonder who she's going to end up with. Okay? Remember, looks aren't everything, okay? I think we should hook up Ghost Freeman with her. He's good with children. He is one. Oh, no. Oh, gosh. Oh, poor Ghost. This poor lady. Yeah, well, sorry, she must be a real looker there, but you know how it goes, guys. Well, check this out. Don't know if you heard about it, But Bruce Willis, yeah, he's offering $1 million for the capture of Osama bin Laden. Yeah, Hollywood actor Bruce Willis, he's announced his intention to offer $1 million to anyone who turns in the Al-Qaeda terror leader, Osama bin Laden. Willis is offering the reward for information leading to the whereabouts of bin Laden, also Zarqawi, and he made his announcement on Rita Cosby live and direct. Kind of cool. Willis also denounced biased media coverage of Iraq, of the war, saying that good things in Iraq aren't being reported. And I've told you that. A lot of people have told you that. The good stuff is not being reported. It's just, if it bleeds, it reads. That's the old newspaper adage, They love to talk about, they like to talk about bad things. Well, like this. The Queen of England, she's been fingered out as a target of Al-Qaeda, according to a British newspaper. Yeah, the Sunday Times, they received a full 27-minute videotape from Zarqawi claiming responsibility for the London 7th July bombing. Zarqawi is believed to be number 2 to bin Laden, is also gave a warning to Muslim leaders in Britain who, quote, work for the pleasure of Elizabeth, the head of the church in England, close quote. Well, senior government department official told the newspaper they're aware of the threat, and they've notified the, relevant authorities. Yeah, they're not worried about it. Yeah, not worried about it at all. Well, I don't know. I might be a little bit worried about it. If I was on an Al-Qaeda list, I might have a little problem with that myself. All right, well, this is GameShout's way of trying to help out. When Marilee Cassius was born, she looked like any other little girl. But as she began to grow, so did the painful tumor on her face. Yeah, now the tumor engulfs Marilee's face, and it's endangered her life. Now, the girl's family is asking for people to donate so Marilee can have this tumor removed. Cost of the operation is about $95,000. You can find a link if you want to help out over at International Kids Fund. Love to have you help join in on this one. International Kids Fund. Well, Marilee was recently diagnosed with polycystic fibrosis dysplasia, which, along with producing this terrible tumor, has also affected this 14-year-old girl's respiratory system. So, Marlee, we wish you the best of luck, and if you can help, it's International Kids Fund. Love to see you guys be able to kick in and help out on that. Well, our last story tonight. The latest in a long line of accessories for Apple's music player, the iPod, has just been launched. Oh gosh, this is bad. It's called the iBuzz. Yeah, exactly. The iBuzz, it connects to the iPod, and it vibrates in time with the songs. As the volume increased, so's the speed of the vibrations. Yeah, it's a new sex toy attachment. It's proving very popular among women. It's being touted as the ideal gift to give the recipient big smiles on their way to work. Oh my gosh. Talk about going to work relaxed. Well, the iBuzz.
This is GameShout Radio, the #1 talk game station in the world. Visit GameShout.com for more info. GameShout. GameShout.
Well, you've made a smart choice today.